So our topic as we jump into April is, the theme is My Place in the World. And our theme for our topic for this week is letting go and surrender. And the breath is such a wonderful teacher about this topic. If we look at the breath as a metaphor for giving and receiving, or letting go and taking in, we see very clearly that we can't thrive doing just one aspect of the breath, i.e. always giving without receiving. Likewise, we can't sustain our breath if we only took the breath in, like taking on responsibilities without taking the time to let go. So this kind of surrender is way more empowering than the kind of surrender we think of as like waving the white flag of surrender. This kind of surrender is a kind of letting go that's restorative, that renews us, that's healing. It's a way to reclaim our power and the power of being able to make choices. So, I know there's different ways to think about surrender and letting go, but this type of letting go, as you know, is a way we can practice feeling our sense of power by exercising our ability to choose. So we'll start by choosing how we're going to breathe, like choosing to recognize our breath and choosing that. I know when I get a little tense or nervous, the first thing I do is I'll go to like being more restrictive with the breath, holding the breath, so like I don't breathe as deeply or let go as fully. And so we can learn that the more we let go, the more breath we can take in. It's sort of like cleaning out a closet. Like when you let go of what's in the closet that's cluttering it up, like, you can breathe. There's more space there, right? It's the same thing in our body. So the breath is such a wonderful teacher about this kind of letting go so that we can have more space in our body. So we'll practice that, but let's start with our breathing meditation. So find a comfortable position, whatever that is for you this evening, and start to tune into the breath. And just begin to witness the breath, witness how you are in this moment. And I'm going to do a little music for us. And hopefully, oh, you know what? We might have internet issues. We might not be playing music. So, doesn't seem to be coming up here. So let's begin to continue to just witness the breath. Notice how the breath is in this moment. And it's good to notice our patterns, not as a way to criticize or judge ourselves, but no, we all have our patterns. When we get stressed, what do? We have patterns that we go to. That is our normal, natural response. So notice what your patterns are when you get stressed with your breath. How do you hold the breath in? Do you hold the breath out? And so as you start to witness the breath, that very often starts to unwind, unravel a little bit in a good way. So what starts to shift in your body as you start to pay attention? And so sometimes it's helpful to invite a fuller, deeper breath, and then really let it go. Empty, 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 let go, surrender, release, breathe out even more than you think you can. Really drawing navel towards spine as you let it go. And then it creates a vacuum to be able to take more breath in, a fuller, deeper breath. And then just notice maybe doing that a couple of times. Empty, 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 empty out the breath, empty the lungs. The diaphragm muscle comes up, the navel draws in. And then taking a nice full breath in. And one more time, empty, empty, empty. Let it go. Surrender all that breath out. And then full breath in. And then just allow again your breath to return to just a natural rhythm. And tune in again. To just going through that little exercise of letting go a little bit more. Create more space in you. Did something shift in your natural rhythm? So noticing where you feel expansion, where you feel contraction, or drawing in as you breathe out. And then start to find a count associated with your in-breath. So as you breathe in, there might be a count of 3 or 4 or 5. What's your kind of natural count? And then exhale and just count as over the course of a few breath cycles. You might find a count of 3 or 4 or 5. We're just counting at this point the in-breath, letting the out-breath just be as it is. And so whatever you've settled on as your rhythm, your count for the in-breath, I invite you now to start to lengthen the out-breath to twice as long as that in-breath. So it might start out as 4 count in-breath and a 4 count out-breath. So not forcing it to lengthen, but allowing it to organically start to lengthen. So if your in-breath count is 3, you're breathing out for 6. If the in-breath count is 4, you're breathing out for 8. And so on. So we call this ratio breathing, or 2-1 breath, meaning the out breath is twice as long as the in breath, meaning we're focusing on the letting go portion of the breath. And so this is a really wonderful breathing practice to do at the end of the day as you're settling in to go to sleep, or if you just want to have a little time in your day to just let go. All day long, we've been taking in or holding or bringing into us our experience, like doing, focusing outwardly. And this is a time to focus inward and let go. It's a really valuable way to be able to restore the body by giving yourself the space to let go. So just a few more breath cycles, just like you are finding that breath count that feels natural for you. Maybe by now you've reached that twice as long out breath. I find that counting my breath is really a nice way to quiet the mind. It gives the mind something to do. And then witnessing the experience or witnessing what's happening in the body as you breathe. This really takes us out of that overthinking mind, out of busy mind into the present moment. Letting go of thoughts. Settling into here and now, where we can make this more appropriate choices, better choices when we're calm and not overwhelmed. It's so much easier to have a broader perspective. And so just a few more breath rounds, and I'll share now, but allowing that breath to just come back to a natural rhythm now. And I'll share some affirmations or intentions that you could formulate your own or adopt for your practice this evening. So one is, I relax, let go, release, and surrender. And all is well. I let go and I am free to be. So you might adopt one of those affirmations as an intention, or you might set your own. And if you like, bringing the hands together at the heart to set that intention. Awesome. Now, when you're ready, if your eyes are still closed, coming to open eyes, and we'll do some movement for our practice this evening. I'm going to come back to my chair here. And let's just start by tuning in again to the body and noticing where you feel tension in your body. Noticing where you tend to carry your tightness or tension. And so that we can let it go because it's not serving us, right? And we all have, again, like I said, our patterns of holding in the body. So just notice if it's in the neck or the shoulders, in the hips, sometimes it's the jaw, sometimes the feet like to hold on a little bit more. So just start to notice. And oftentimes, just by bringing our compassionate and loving presence to that tension, it starts to not let go quite yet, but it starts to let us know that it would like to, right? So I noticed just as we started to do that, like, oh, my feet started to want to wiggle. So if you have some part in your body that goes like, oh yeah, I didn't even know that was there. Yeah, just start to let it go by giving it what it needs. And that is an act of self-care, self-love, self-compassion, is to listen and respond in a way that's supportive. So at any point, if your body decides that you need something different than what I'm offering, by all means, take care of you, listen to you, and receive whatever I'm offering as a suggestion. And then you can choose to do that or respond in a different way for yourself. Okay? So let's start to explore moving the spine. Just a little side to side. Maybe get a little wave-like motion side to side. Good. And then as you start to move to the right, move around and then forward and over to the other side. And then back, navel towards spine, back rounds. Good, start to find all the places. Yeah, as you start to circle, churning. Let the shoulders move, let the hips move, let the spine move. Circling, churning. So interestingly, this helps to release tension in the spine, the hips, the shoulders. Massages the organs. Good. So after you've done that a few times in one direction, then take the time to go in the opposite direction. Circling. Good. And then coming back to neutral once again and just noticing, pausing, checking in, tuning into the breath, noticing sensations in the body, particularly in that part that you just moved. Something start to feel a little more open, a little more spacious. Did we let go of any tension? And then we're going to bring the hands here. I invite you just to bring the hands to the jaw, where the upper jaw meets the lower jaw, and then start to just circle. Use the fingertips, maybe just of 1 or 2 or 3 fingers. And it should feel comfortable or welcome as you start to massage here. And let the jaw relax. And you might notice subtle differences between right side and left side. Might feel a little more, I have a little knot of tension more on my right side than on my left side. So you might notice what happens in your body. They're just good to know our patterns. Good to know our habitual places where we hold tension. And so then as you continue to massage here, I invite you to yawn. So take a deep breath in. And do that a few more times. Deep breath in. Good. Yawns are a way we can discharge energy. We can discharge or let go of tension. Watch an animal. They'll yawn to discharge energy. And then just pause once again after 2 or 3 yawns. And notice, feel, breathe. Notice if the tension, if there was any tension you were noticing there, if it's shifted somehow, if the jaw feels more relaxed. Okay. And then let's do another animal-inspired movement. We do it in our own way, not the way the animals do. The animals usually do like, right, a little shake. But we'll do a little shake, release, so shake out the arms, shake out the legs, shake, shake, shake. You can stand and shake if you want, but shaking off, like shake it off, is a way of letting go. It's another way of discharging energy. If you're watched any animals come together, like if you're walking your dog and another dog comes along that the animal your pet sees as threatening, and then as soon as the threat is over and you go in the opposite direction, the dog will often shake. Watch it. I have my dad's dog I walk sometimes, and he's a little nervous Nelly. So she's a little nervous Nelly. And every dog she encounters, she walks away and goes, whoo. But it's how animals take care of themselves. So we too can take care of ourselves by just kind of shake it off, literally shake off the tension. It's very powerful. It's going to be a simple thing to do. Good. And then just notice how you feel, just having that little bit of shake it off in whatever way feels good. Tuning into the breath once again. And then we'll do some neck and shoulder stretches. So neck and shoulder stretches, I don't know about you, one of my primary places. It's kind of neck, shoulders, jaw. It's where I hold my tension. Know your patterns too. So let's just start with just some simple shoulder warm-ups here, taking the shoulders up and then back and down, circling them around. Synchronizing that movement with breath. So as you come forward and up, in breath, and back and down, out breath. Good. And then just coming back to neutral, pausing there. And then you might take the shoulders in the opposite direction. So back and up, and then forward and down. So notice if your tendency is to kind of do that forcefully, if you can do it really fluid, like a gentle flowing river. That's nice flowing, massaging. Good. And then coming back to neutral once again, nice lift in the spine. We're sitting forward on our seat. And then just take the arms out wide. Reach them wide. And think about those pinky fingers. So pinky fingers can reach back and reach away. So we engage, we use our shoulder blades. So you can notice palms forward. And then if you go palms down, reach those pinky fingers back. You might feel a line of energy all the way up your arm to the shoulder blades. Good. Palms forward. Palms down, pinky fingers reaching back. Good, so let's rotate all the way around. Pinky fingers reaching forward, thumbs reaching back. Good, and just make that rotation all the way around. The pinky fingers reach up. Palms down, thumbs up, pinky fingers reaching forward, palms up. Just rotating around here. Good. Warming up those shoulders. Good. So now we'll take that right arm into the air and then give yourself a little pat on the back. Pat yourself on the back and then bring that left arm around, and you can use that left hand to support that right arm coming down wherever you are. So wherever you are, support that arm. Good, breathing. Good, you can choose to be right here, or if you want, take that left arm around, maybe behind the back, to the hip, behind the back, or even experiment with reaching fingertips toward one another. Good, breathing, breathing. It feels, I can do this again now, but for a long time I couldn't. I had frozen shoulder and I never thought my fingers would even get close to this again. So just know that when you work at things, your range of motion can improve. So there's you can also bridge the gap with a sock, a t-shirt, a towel, a yoga strap. And as that feels complete, just releasing the arms once again. And pause, bringing the hands to the lap and just noticing. Tuning into the breath. And let your awareness kind of move here now between right arm and left arm, right shoulder, left shoulder. And noticing sensations from one side to the other. And noticing your breath. And we let go of any tension. Good. So let's bring that left arm into the air. Good. Bend at the elbow, pat yourself on the back. Or the back of the head, whatever's available to you, honoring your body. And then let's bring that right hand to the left upper arm. Just inviting, not forcing or pushing, but inviting that hand to move the left hand to move down the back of the neck, wherever you are, keeping that nice lift in your spine and steadiness in the breath. Choosing to keep that hand there or reaching that hand around, fingertips toward one another, or bridging the gap with a sock, a towel, yoga strap. Good. This side's different for me. How about for you? Just noticing. Which side feels more open and available for you? Which side is tighter? Steady breath. Good, and then releasing. Good, bringing the hands again to the lap, pausing there, tuning into the breath, noticing sensations. Maybe a tingling sensation in the arms, in the neck or shoulders. Maybe more spaciousness or openness. Just noticing. Good. So then I invite you just to fold forward over the knees, over the legs, and letting the head just release, the back of the neck release, the jaw release. So chin comes in toward the chest. And let this be a letting go of tension in the jaw and neck. So as you let the head just surrender there, if it feels comfortable for you, available for you, maybe taking the head a little side to side. Letting the breath support you. I often find this folding forward or turning in to be very calming. So notice what it feels like in your body. Because if this kind of curling in on yourself movement feels like calming to you, it's a good thing to remember. So you can come back to it when your body is craving a sense of calm. And then slowly, when you're ready, start to slowly uncurl, coming up again to seated. Sitting nice and tall, just noticing what's shifted for you. Noticing the breath, what's changed. So if it's simple and you happen to have some hand lotion or foot lotion or body lotion near you that you can grab, feel free to grab that now. We're going to do a little foot massage as a way of supporting that releasing or letting go of tension in the feet as well. So I invite you to just bring your right foot to your left knee. And we'll just enjoy the hip stretch that offers. So wherever that's available, you might be straightening that leg out a little bit or walking that foot in, sitting nice and tall, having that nice lift in the spine. And so that might be enough hip stretch right there. And if you desire just a little bit more hip stretch, you might hinge coming forward, paying attention to sensation, paying attention to what's happening in your body, and honoring that. Good. So then if you have some lotion nearby, feel free to bring a little bit of that into your hand and then rub the hands together, and then you can just move that over the foot. So, and if you don't have lotion, that's okay. It's just like icing on the cake. It's just an extra layer of goodness. But we'll start by just bringing the hands to the thumb and index finger, massaging from the base of the big toe, the little bones that go down your toes are the metatarsals. So we'll find like from the ball of the foot, finding that big toe metatarsal and following it all the way up, kind of like rocking back and forth or squeezing or rolling the toe between the fingers. So I like to think of it as like a squeeze, wiggle, pull. Squeeze, wiggle, and pull. And you might even actually give it a little pull, like lengthen, put some space in the joints. Yeah. That letting go of tension gives us more space. Taking time to breathe and self-care, which you're doing, showing up here. Congratulations. Squeeze, wiggle, pull. Yeah. This offers us to move on to the second toe. Squeeze, wiggle, pull. And you can use either hand, doesn't matter, whatever feels right for you. And the third toe. And then the fourth toe. And then the baby toe. Just doing that little squeeze, wiggle, pull. You might revisit each one again. And then we're going to take the thumbs to the ball of the foot and massage the ball of the foot, like little circles with your thumbs. And staying connected to, tuned into the breath as you do. Good. And then moving down from the ball of the foot into the arch. And massaging the arch of the foot. Yeah. Noticing where your tender places are. In the science of reflexology, the foot is like a map for the rest of the body. So it's nice to know where those places of tension and holding are in our feet. And that giving attention to our feet might actually be supporting some other part of our body. And then move on down to the heel. Much stronger there, so maybe a little more pressure. Use different fingers if the thumbs are getting tired. And again, little squeeze, little pinch. Whatever feels good. Good. And then we're going to take all the toes, bring the hand to the top of the toes, and take all the toes toward the sole of the foot. So I guess that's all the toes forward. If it's available to you, you could also thread the fingers between the toes. Gives the toes another little stretch. And bring all the toes forward. And then all the toes back. So threading the fingers or just taking the fingers over the toes, stretching that foot. Stretching the sole of the foot. Good. And then whether fingers are threaded or you're using the hand, just circle the ankle. Circle. Okay. And then we'll do little love taps. A little brush, brush, brush. All right, this is where it gets very interesting. Bring your foot to the ground and then close the eyes and notice the sensations in one leg versus the other. And the sole of each foot. Notice one foot versus the other foot. The whole foot, the whole lower leg. And you might even notice which nostril is more open right now. So the airflow over the nostrils changes throughout the day, all day. But just massaging that one foot, is the nostril on that side more open or the other side? Just an observation. Now, here's the fun part. Take a look at your feet and notice if there's a difference in the texture, the color, the tone of one foot compared to the other foot. Isn't that interesting? Good. So let's bring the other foot up. Good. I even noticed looking at on the screen, one leg looks like a different color than the other leg. All right, let's move to the second side. Squeeze, wiggle, pull, big toe. And then the second toe. And the third toe. The fourth toe. And the baby toe. And I forgot to offer you a little time here for your hip stretch. So by all means, if as you're massaging your foot, you want to hinge a little bit forward, do so, monitoring the hip sensation. So then we'll take the thumbs to the ball of the foot and little circles massaging the ball of the foot. Letting go of any tension, noticing what's there as you're ready, moving down. So you might have your own intuitive sense and not be following exactly the guidance that I'm offering here. As you're massaging in one place, you might discover there's some other place that would like a little bit more attention, or you'd like to linger in one place longer before moving on. That's good. Listening. Good. As you're ready, moving on to the heel, finding your way to massage, using a little pressure. I find it's almost like a little pinch because it's so much more dense in the heel than in other parts of the foot. I think feet are just kind of a miracle, aren't they? They hold up this whole body all day long, walk around. Good, so let's bring all the toes. So you can either thread the fingers between or just wrap the fingers around the toes. Bring all the toes forward and all the toes back. So a few times at your own pace, wrapping the toes or spreading the fingers, spreading the toes between the fingers between the toes. Good. Gives an extra little bit of space there. And so this is just a really nice self-care practice to help support letting go of tension and tightness in the feet and ankles, and tuning in. Good. So circling in each direction. Good. And then a little tap. And then a little love brush. I always think that's like petting the cat. No wonder they like that. Good. And then releasing that foot back to the mat again to notice, to observe, to witness sensations in your body. And if it's interesting for you, go ahead and take a look at your feet again. Notice the difference between the right foot and the left foot. Good. And then bringing the hands to the knees and rounding the spine, uncurling, coming up. Good. And then just lead forward with the heart. Good. And again, rounding the spine, chin toward chest, and all the way up. And one last time. Leaning forward, heart comes forward, rounding the spine, coming all the way back up. And pausing to notice. Good. And checking in with your body in this moment. Just notice if there's any tension that's been still talking to you. And maybe there's a little wiggle, a little movement that your body would enjoy, or revisiting, or coming back to, or doing for the first time. So exploring what sensations, what your body longs for just a minute. What movement would I like in my body? Does my head want a little more stretch, or neck? How about a little twist? Would that help? So this whole idea of practicing breath and body movement, meditation, is really a tool for helping us become more aware of ourself, of our needs. And because we get so focused on other people's needs and caring for others, and it's a time to let go of that for a while, to just be focused on ourselves. What do I need right now? And without practicing it, it's very easy to forget and to lose track of that, to lose track of what are my needs? What do I need? And so this simplest, it's easiest to practice with something simple, right? So the simplest ways are to just find, in this moment, what does my body need? I just need to shake it off, take a breath, circle my ankles, feel my feet. So ways you can just incorporate that in. All right, my friends, let's rest. Let's do our rest time. So find if you like to be on the floor, feet up on a chair, or lay flat on the floor, by all means, set yourself up in the way, or just be seated in a chair for meditation. Set yourself up well so that you can just enjoy this time of stillness. And once again, we're tuning into the letting go portion of the breath. We can't always let go, or only let go without bringing in more. And we can't keep bringing in more without actually letting go. But for now, we're going to focus on a little tension relaxation. So we're going to exaggerate that holding on. Just like, and then with the out breath, let it go. So just like ratio breathing, we can let go of more than we take in. And this can be very cleansing and clearing out. Like I said, like clearing out a closet or a drawer. So as you come into this posture of comfort and ease, I invite you just to start to clench the fists the hands into a nice tight fist. Feel the muscles hug in toward the bones on the arms, elbows hug the arms into the body, and tighten the shoulders. Draw the shoulders up just a little bit. All the patterns that we hold in the body, hold, tight, tight, tight. Deep breath in, and with the out breath, let everything go. Let it go. Deep breath in, let it go again. Now we're going to do the same thing with the feet. So curling the toes in, tightening the ankles, hugging the muscles in toward the bones, squeeze the thigh muscles, the calf muscles, all the way up to the glutes and the pelvic floor. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Hold that tension in. Hold that, hold. I know we're all good at doing this. We've done it many times before. We can bear it. And sometimes then we eventually have to let it go. Deep breath in. Let it go. let it go again. All right, this time it's going to be arms and legs and the belly and the chest and the back and the jaw, and squeeze all the muscles of your face towards your nose. Squeeze, 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 scrunch the forehead. Bring in all that tension, tension, tension. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Very hard to take a deep breath in when you're holding all this tension in your body, isn't it? Experience that. And then try and take a deep breath in. And with the out breath, let it go. And then allow that nice new breath in. And long, slow breath out. And even in the letting go, I know you can find another layer of letting go. So allowing, as you let go, there's more space in the body to receive a restorative new breath. And with each out breath, let yourself melt into the surface you're on even more. Breathing in, receive that renewed energy. Breathing out, letting go. And so continue to just be in this space of letting go and receiving that renewed energy. And if the mind attempts to wander off, very gently, compassionately bring that awareness back to this right now letting go moment. Let each out breath be another layer of letting go. Shedding layers of tension. And in the spaciousness of the present moment, you might even bring in the affirmation, all is well. All is well. In this very moment, all is well. And so as you're ready, very gently begin to bring your awareness back, deepening the breath. Maybe bringing some gentle movement into the body. And even taking your time, if you're lying down, rolling to one side, taking your time to come back to seated. And then just gently kind of fluttering the eyes. And so just sharing a quote from your handout this evening. It says, when you let go, you create space for what really matters, to be present in your life, to be present to what really matters in your life. So, thank you for joining me.